What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel for the second time in the same day. We are on Season 2.5, Season 2 Reloaded. Today, or in this video, we're going to talk about the SOA Subverter. This is the new battle rifle that they just released in this patch. We're going to cover just the base stats of the weapon and compare it to some of the other base weapons, just so we can see how the TTK lines up, essentially, and how the other stats line up. Attachments aren't up on TGD yet, but the base weapon is with the damage profile and TTK chart and things like that. So I'll be getting the attachments up probably tomorrow, but I just wanted to get you guys this information as fast as possible. So let's get right into it. As I'm going through this, I just want to remind you guys, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment on the video if you appreciate the grind that goes into everything that happens on TGD, all the programming, all the data collection, everything. It's a more than a full-time job for sure. Me and one other developer work on it, so you would do that, we appreciate it. But let's get into the damage values here. So this is the damage profile for the SOA Subverter. 0 to 25.4 meters is the first range, so pretty short first range for a long range weapon. 25.4 up to 46.2 is the next damage range, and then 46.2 and on. So 400 to the head, or sorry, 40 to the head, 39 to the neck, 39 to the chest. So it has this old style, this is like Modern Warfare 2 style hitbox here, where the neck and chest are the same, but the upper arms and lower arms and stomach are all different. So it's going to have a very unforgiving profile, especially because there's a 5 damage drop from neck and chest to any other part of the body. It goes from 39 to 34. So what's probably going to happen here, I'm just going to predict this ahead of time, it's probably going to look really good because it starts on, like, TGD by default is on chest TTK. So it'll look really good because it does 39 damage to the chest, and then probably if you swap it to combination or something like that, where it starts to include headshots, it has a terrible headshot multiplier, and it has a significant drop to the rest of the body. It's probably not going to be anywhere near as good when we swap it over to combination shots. So looking at 25.6 or 25.4 to 46, so the second damage range, 36 to the head, 34 neck and chest, and then 31 everywhere else, 46.2 and on, 33 to the head, 32 to the neck, 32 to the chest, and then 28 to the rest of the body. I do want to mention the zombies unlock method is working again now. So if you have one friend that gets this unlocked, all you have to do is go into zombies, have that person drop it for you, you pick it up, and then you successfully exfil with it, you'll have it unlocked. So if you want to do that to avoid the weekly challenges, that is an option. So scrolling down here, we will look at the TTK chart first. So we have the SOA Subverter in red, the new battle rifle, the MWIII in orange, STB 556 in blue, and then Bruin Mark 9 in green. I just added some random weapons. MWIII got that damage range nerf in this patch, but the damage values are the same as before, so it's not going to be a huge change there. So it's a good thing to compare to. And then Bruin was also very good last patch and is very good this patch. I'll be doing the full meta video here pretty soon, but you can see right off the bat on chest, the SOA in red here at the bottom looks like it's crazy good. 602 milliseconds, and then doesn't have a lot of drop-offs like some of the other ones. So like the MWIII in orange has a huge damage drop-off out there at its second range, so 43 meters. Really big damage drop-off. It makes it not nearly as good for, you know, like the bigger maps. For Resurgence maps, it is very good. And it's still going to be pretty good even after the nerf. But yeah, the Subverter on this chart looks amazing. But like I said, it's going to be very forgiving to actually unforgiving to get anything either faster or slower than that chest TTK. So if I put it on combination, I bet you're going to see this get much worse. So yeah, it goes up at least 1 shot to kill when I'm just using the default shot location percentages on TGD, up to 688 milliseconds in the first range. But then the TTK actually doesn't change after that first drop off, so it goes up to 805, including bullet velocity, out to infinity. So it still looks pretty good on the TTK chart even after including combination, but obviously past about 35 meters recoil starts to become very important. So we're going to go look at the recoil in game and see how it actually feels. Before I go in game though, I want to show you guys the SDK tool on TGD. This is a premium feature that helps you understand how missing certain shot locations can impact the TTK and change the TTK. So the left part of the bar is the chosen shot location shots, and then the right side of the bar is the number of other shots off of your selected shot location. So in this case, it's set up on chest. So it's looking for any headshots that can either make the TTK faster or any other shots across the body that will make it worse. So with this tool, you can see that it's 8 shots to kill to the chest in the first damage range. And then if you miss 3 shots and hit 3 shots on the stomach, arms, or legs, just 3 shots, your TTK is going to go up because you have 9 shots to kill now. So that this tool is really powerful for understanding kind of the forgiveness of the weapon and how the TTK changes when you miss your target, where most people are aiming for the chest. So as you miss shots, because it only does 1 more damage to the head, you can never make the TTK any faster. So even if you get 8 headshots, it's still going to be 8 shots to kill. It doesn't actually reduce the shots to kill at all. In the second damage range, it's the same story. It takes 3 shots on the stomach, upper arm, or lower arm, or upper leg, or lower leg to make that TTK get worse by 1 shot to kill. So again, very unforgiving. Tiny hitbox to actually get that chest TTK. In the last damage range, it is a little bit more forgiving. It takes 6 shots missed off of the chest to actually make that TTK worse. So something to keep in mind. It's going to look really good. You're going to be seeing this for the next few days. Everyone's going to claim this thing is crazy good because they're going to use TGD. They're going to see the chest TTK. They're not going to change it to combination, and they're not going to look at the SDK tool to actually get a true picture of how the weapon's going to perform. They're just going to look at the chest TTK and think that that's all that matters. So we're going to do a little recoil test here just in the firing range. I don't have the recoil up on TGD yet, like I said, but recoil and the attachments will be live on the site pretty soon, probably tonight, maybe tomorrow. But let's jump into the firing range. I've just got kind of a standard long range build here. I haven't really tried to optimize it or anything yet, but this is what I like to use on weapons if it's feasible. We got the long barrel, the VT7 suppressor, the Bruin's heavy support underbarrel, and then 50 round mag and an optic. So I put a high zoom optic on this just because that kind of reveals the weaknesses of recoil when you put a high zoom optic on there, because the effect of zoom kind of multiplies the recoil effectively. So we're going to see what this feels like just shooting that last target out there at about 50-55 meters. And it doesn't feel terrible, but it definitely has very S-shaped recoil. So that is hard to control. That's hard to get used to. So if I shoot this on the wall and you see the pattern, you're going to see it's very S-shaped. That little notch right there, that's probably about 15-20 bullets in, probably 15 bullets in. That is really hard. It takes this nice sweeping curve, and then it just does a hard up to the left after that. And it's right at the point where I think a lot of probably like 50-meter engagements, you start to use that many bullets. So that's right where, you're going to start missing shots right when it does that. And it feels pretty crazy. Now, obviously we can reduce that with attachments, but I do have the Bruin heavy support on this already. So that does a bunch of horizontal recoil, and the long barrel does some as well. So does the VT7 suppressor. So it already has horizontal attachments. I don't like to swap the VT7 for, I like to have a suppressor, so I don't like to take that off. But if we were to put one of these on here with like significant, so the Wrath Guard compensator, if we put that on there with significant horizontal recoil, 28%, then this is probably going to become much more manageable. Yeah, so like it still does the same pattern. It doesn't change the pattern, but it just flattens the whole thing out. And if I use this on the last target now, it's probably going to feel much better. And now it has a lot of vertical, but that's just because I have this optic on there. Like if I swapped the optic for just like a 1X or something like that, it's going to feel pretty good. I don't like not using a silencer because it just puts you on the map for everyone. But I do think this weapon's going to be highly competitive. I mean, that's a beam. With these attachments, an absolute beam. And as you saw on the TTK chart, if you hit those chest shots or headshots, it's going to have a very competitive time to kill. It's just that it's going to be very unforgiving if you miss those shots. Most of the weapons in this game, neck, chest, stomach, upper arm, and lower arm, are all the same. So you have this gigantic chest hitbox. This gun is built more like we had in Warzone 1 and Warzone 2, where just neck and chest are the same, and then stomach is lower, and the arms are lower as well. So you don't get that huge chest hitbox. So yeah, my prediction, I think it is going to be a pretty meta weapon, even though it's going to be unforgiving. It has really good time to kill, and when you put that, you just won't be able to use a suppressor. You'll have to take the suppressor off. You'll have to use one of those huge horizontal recoil helping attachments, because even when you do miss those shots, it's still faster than something like the Bruin. So like the Bruin in green here, which is going to be one of the more meta options. You can see that the SOA Subverter has a little bit shorter damage range, but the TTK, even on combination, accounting for some of that unforgivability of the rest of the body, is still faster than the Bruin at every range except like 25 up to 30. So I do think it's going to be a meta option. It's just not going to be able to be suppressed like some of the other options. I do want to also mention that most of the battle rifles have a different damage profile in single fire mode. This one does not. So currently they'll probably add one if I had to guess, but they probably just don't have it finished yet and balanced. So right now I tested it on single fire. It has the exact same damage profile as full auto. So no reason to switch it to single fire pretty much ever. All right, that's it for the video, everyone. I do think that it's going to be a pretty meta option, especially without a suppressor. As always, if you guys want to support, the best way to support is a direct subscription through True Game Data. That makes it so when I make this video, I don't have to yell at you and tell you that it's the best gun ever made. I can just be honest with you because I have this separate source of income. I don't have to like super clickbait my YouTube videos and things. So I really appreciate that. And obviously, not just supporting the YouTube channel, you get access to all the premium features like the STK tool that I used in this video. You get MetaGen, True TTK Simulation, which helps you actually understand what your real TTK will be based on your accuracies, and then Best Stat Lookup tool. So all those things are included at any of the tiers of subscription levels. But that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.